Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast with Brian and Arman. How you doing? You having a good day?
Oh, yeah?
Well, it's raining here, or it looks like it's about to rain. Overcast all day yesterday. Gray and sad.
It was thundering earlier.
This stuff smells amazing. Have you smelled this yet?
No.
This is the stuff with the CBD in it. This is a 10-to-1, or no, 1-to-1, something to 1 CBD.
We can talk about that. I don't smoke, but...
Well, I've never tried CBD before, but it's supposed to have serious effects for anti-inflammatory,
Mm-hmm.
And my body's all fucked up. And so if this has if I see a serious improvement in how my back feels, my knee, my shoulder, my elbow,
It's
my
from
wrist,
that.
if I see a big difference, it's gonna be from this. And if I do see a big difference, then I'm gonna start buying a lot more of this shit.
Is that the first batch? You haven't even smoked it yet?
Nope, haven't had any yet. I'll probably have a little bit later tonight. There's very little THC in this, so don't really get.
Cool. I hope it works.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. My back is no bueno. Es no bueno. I almost threw my back out yesterday. I went into the bathroom,
Uh-huh.
took a shower, and then dropped my towel while I was drying myself off.
Yeah.
Just bent down to grab my towel, and my back went like ting, like a fucking pang of fucking explosion went through my back.
That's not good.
I was really worried. I thought I threw my back out.
Have you thrown your back out before?
Yeah, lots of times.
Sprained it, or it's like a sprain?
I'm not sure what it is, honestly, because I know that I have 2 herniated discs in my lumbar, my lower back.
So they're protruding out?
Yeah, and they're pinching nerves. And the doctor says that he thinks, the most recent doctor, I should say, I've seen a bunch. The most recent American doctor said that he thinks that my spinal fluid is leaking out into my body.
Wow.
And he said that's probably why it hurts so badly. So that's no fun.
Will you need surgery?
Probably, but I mean, at the moment I can still walk. It doesn't always. It doesn't feel good, but it doesn't always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So I can probably just ignore it for a few more years. I'm hoping to ignore it for long enough for them to perfect any kind of solution.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore it for another 10 years, and then I bet you it would be easy to fix. That's at least what I'm hoping for. And I had my knee reconstructed. I broke my foot. I broke my ankle. Broke my wrist twice. Tore my what's this called? Rotator cuff. Tore that twice. Broken fingers. Broken toes. Just all fucked up.
Wow. You're like Mr. Glass.
You know what? If only I was as intelligent as Mr. Glass. You were there, right, when I broke all my toes in this foot? We were drinking here in the basement.
You actually broke them?
Yeah, fucking smashed them. And I had to go right back to Montana, like 2 days later. I was here just on holiday.
Yeah.
And in Montana, I walked 45 minutes every morning to school. So I was walking on broken toes for a whole semester. But it's good for them. I've broken toes and fingers, and in my experience, you have to immediately use them. Like, you break it, yeah. If it's an important finger, like a thumb, then you should probably set the joint so it doesn't move around too much. But then you need to start using it immediately. And, like, all the toes in this foot are perfectly normal.
And that's just to, keep it mobile?
Just to make sure it can always do its job, regardless of how it looks or how it feels or, whether it actually is healing correctly.
Keep the mobility in it.
Yeah, as long as I can still walk, then what the fuck else do I need toes for?
Well, they're broken. Well, you look fine. Sorry to hear that you have back problems.
Yeah, man. I developed those when we were in high school. I developed those like the second year of high school.
I think we should have been lazier. Not doing
Lazier?
Yeah.
How can that be possible? Yeah, track is the only thing we ever did.
Yeah, it's not that lazy.
I don't know, man. I don't remember doing a lot of work. I don't remember ever going to the track outside of the 1 hour of track meet, or however long it was, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. I also remember going out of my way not to ever run. I remember I was just useless. You know, I'm actually kind of the opposite. I wish I exercised more in high school.
Yeah. Doing 2-a-days and stuff.
No, not that kind of crazy bullshit. I don't mean exercise like destroy my body. I just mean be healthier. I wish I was just marginally healthier in high school. You know.
Yeah.
Just go out and be active more. Go, like, for example, playing soccer with the old dudes. Remember that?
Yeah.
Should have just done that twice a week. Every week. That would have been plenty.
Yeah.
Go play soccer for 2 or 3 hours. Twice a week. That's fun.
Doctor says you only need 30 minutes per week of exercise.
Is your doctor morbidly obese? You only need 30 minutes of exercise per week.
That's all I can recommend. Lead by example. I can only do 30
Do you know what your resting heart rate is? Have you ever measured it? Like, accurately measured it. You have to measure it over a course of, like, a week or two.
I mean, I've taken my blood pressure before. Is that the same?
Nope. Heart rate. Resting heart rate. Resting heart rate is how fast your heart is beating the moment you wake up in the morning.
Isn't that the same as blood pressure, though?
No, of course it's not. How can that be the same? They're entirely different things.
One of them... It's the same vein.
No, god damn it, Arman. It doesn't even make sense.
Mine's like 130 over 80.
That doesn't
120.
What? Do you understand that question I'm asking?
It's heartbeats.
I'm asking, how fast does your heart beat? And you're like, well, the pressure is this. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, maybe not. No, I've never done that.
Yeah, I can tell.
There, you got a good answer.
Yeah. It was a great one. But supposedly, having a slower heart rate, it means that you have a better cardiovascular system.
Okay.
And I think pressure is how hard your heart works.
Okay.
All right. How fast it beats is like is how good your cardiovascular system is, and then how the pressure that you have is how hard it's working to achieve that. I think that's how it works. I'm not a doctor. Anyway, that year that I was here, living here, after I graduated, I took a really, really long study of my heart where I just wrote down my resting heartbeat every single morning for like 2 months. It's 54 beats per minute.
Pretty good, I guess.
Super fucking slow. I'm not an athlete. Dude, like less than 70 or less than 80 is good.
Yeah. 30's like the best or something?
No, like fucking marathon runners are like 30.
Oh.
Maybe not even 30. You know, I've heard of people being like 40-ish. I don't know. Google it. Who has the slowest heart rate in the world?
I can't Google it right now. I'm using my phone.
Well, it would have to be a human, because I bet like a blue whale has like a 1 beat per fucking 5 minutes or some crazy shit like that.
Wow.
The bigger an animal is, the slower the heart beats. But yeah, my heart beats pretty fucking slowly, just naturally, because I don't exercise.
Well, because you're bigger.
I'm not that much bigger.
You're huge.
when you
this guy's huge. He's tall as shit. He's asking a 5'5" guy if he's tall or not.
Come on, I'm only like a foot taller than you, okay?
Big difference.
We weigh the same.
Yeah.
Alright? So, when they compare heart rates, they're talking about like elephants and mice. They're not talking about like a tall elephant or a short elephant.
I'm that mice. You're that elephant, Brian. Huge.
You sneaky fucker. Stop stealing food from my kitchen.
I brought him housewarming food.
Oh, Jesus.
Still hasn't eaten it.
Dude, you brought me a box of ice cream sandwiches. How quickly do you expect me to eat a box of ice cream sandwiches?
Immediately.
Yeah, you got here like 45 minutes ago.
I've been here for an hour now.
Who's counting, Arman?
Well, you have a giant clock right there.
I think it could be bigger. I think it could be bigger, don't you?
Yeah, it could.
What if it was so big that there's nowhere in the room you could look where you're not seeing the clock?
Just mirrors on the wall,
Yeah.
angled towards it.
Or like from the movie Hook, where he's just got clocks everywhere.
I've never seen that movie.
What? You've never seen Hook with Peter Pan? Jesus Christ.
Is that like the first one?
Were you working in the mine when you were 6 years old, or what?
My only friend was a canary.
Until the day he died. It really smelled weird that day, too. I don't know what it was.
You can't smell methane gas.
You can't smell it. You can smell
Methane you can, but CO2 you
CO2 you can't.
Yeah.
Is it carbon monoxide or dioxide that kills you?
Carbon monoxide.
Carbon what?
Monoxide.
Singular oxide?
Yeah. What? I don't remember chemistry.
I know, I don't either.
All I know is I got a pretty good grade.
All I know is our teacher was the tits.
He was amazing, man.
He was awesome. He fucking hated his job so much that it made the class fun.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing now. I wonder if he's alive. That was a long time ago. That was like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Jesus.
No, that was like...
15? It was less than 10. Oh.
It wasn't less than 10. That
It's
was
almost-
that was like
it's-
2006.
This is the 10th year. Our reunion is this year.
Next year, 2019. We graduated in 2009.
Oh, yeah.
And chemistry was like, what, 2007-ish? Did you get that?
Yeah, it's a computer turning on.
What computer?
Or
No.
something recharging back up.
That was like some alien shit right there.
But the storm got really bad outside.
Yeah, storm's looking bad. Trees are moving a lot.
This is the last podcast we make, guys.
Trees are come right through the wall and kill us both.
Wait, how are they going to hear this?
No! Quickly make a death note. Post this podcast.
Please, and monetize it.
Yeah, and I don't know, bear me with the money, I guess.
It has not stopped raining.
It
and
has not.
Storming.
But there hasn't been any real storms. Like, have there? Have there been any storms where shit gets cray-cray?
Everything's been breaking.
Yeah, what do you mean everything's been breaking? I haven't seen a single tree down.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like 15-minute storm kind of storm. Like, remember that?
With rain or just thunder?
You remember the 15-minute storm?
No. When was this?
Man, where the whole fucking county lost power for like a week. This happened while we were in high school.
With the hurricanes?
Yeah,
and
it was
stuff?
like a little tornado.
Was it a tornado?
You know, I heard there was a tornado. I don't know if it was the same storm, but there was a tornado when we were in high school. I just don't remember where it was or when it was. Stuff's getting crazy outside. I was going to say we should have done the podcast outside, but I guess it would be too windy.
Nope, now it's raining.
Oh, it's raining, yep. My God.
Yeah. I didn't lock my car.
Oh, well, the storm is definitely going to break in and steal your shit.
Yeah.
You know how storms are in this area. Fucking thieves.
So we've covered a lot in this podcast. Now we're starting to talk about medicinal marijuana. What's your opinion on that? Should it be state regulated and... Well, it is state regulated, right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
You had a thought about it. You should... which was interesting.
What was my thought?
Um,
It is state regulated. It's still illegal federally.
somebody was saying, I think it was you, where you were like, what did you say? I can't remember.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's storming a lot. It's storming. It is raining a lot.
I don't know if I'm gonna put pants on all day. You know, at this point, right? At this point, what's the point of wearing pants? Huh? The storm is getting pretty crazy. Raining a lot. Look at that.
Oh, wow. That is bad.
It's coming down. Ah, well.
It's not even 5 o'clock yet.
What's the worst that could happen, right? We die.
Yes, that is probably
Lightning strikes the house. It burns down. Right?
A tree falls, opens up a hole in the house, and then
water
it
pours
rains
in. Yeah. We die and we drown and burn to death at the same time.
in the house.
Yeah. Like you're drowning, right? The water is like coming up over your mouth and like you're close to the ceiling, but the ceiling's on fire, so it's burning your head.
It's rotating.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't get comfortable.
Yeah. Death is so uncomfortable.
No, you were saying something like the federal government should regulate marijuana, but they only get like a tax and something like that.
Oh, I say all sorts of crazy shit, but I believe that the federal government should fuck all the way off. I think that the states should be given a lot more power to govern themselves, and I think that the only money that the federal government should make is from sales tax. I think there should be a countrywide sales tax that's the exact same amount no matter what you're buying. Like, let's say 5%.
Mm-hmm.
And 100% of that sales tax goes to the federal government. And the federal government is not allowed to raise it for any reason. Or decrease it. And that's all they get. Whatever that happens to be, that's what they fucking get, and they can fuck off. And the states themselves can then do an income tax, and they can decide on how much they want for the income tax. And then people will be allowed to change states based on how they see the tax laws.
Wouldn't the federal government be like, oh, now we're going to tax the states now?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you want to talk about real life, then we are in the situation we're in because everybody wants the maximum amount of money they can get.
Yeah.
So the federal government taxes every single everybody. Whereas the state government takes as much as they can get. Basically, everyone just takes as much as they can get without inciting riots.
What about like the people that were talking about like that 1% of the world that was complaining about the taxes being too high, and then they're like, oh, we want rich people to have less taxes.
You're talking about socialism.
Was it that?
The socialists are always saying that.
I was just thinking, the socialists are saying that?
Yeah.
I was like, the audacity. Well, okay, yeah, you made a lot of money, but you still have to pay taxes.
Well, okay. So, I kind of see both sides of the spectrum on this. From the perspective of a super rich person, there's very, very little chance that you were born with that money. Most hyper-successful people became hyper-successful themselves. And those people don't deserve to be treated worse just because they were more successful than, let's say, we are.
But they aren't being treated worse.
Well, that's the thing. If you live in some countries, like America, for example,
yeah,
that rich person might be being taxed at 50% effectively, whereas you might get taxed at 20% or 15%. So they are being penalized for being more successful.
How are they being penalized? Like,
because we have a tax bracket system where you pay more taxes if you make more money.
oh, I thought that was bullshit. I thought that was like the hypothesis of.
No, that's how it is right now in America.
Oh, well, I agree. It should be even.
Yeah, I think it should be a flat tax across everyone, no matter how much money you make or don't make. Holy shit, it's raining hard. Look at that.
I think we're gonna see a typhoon soon.
Typhoon. Dude, stop using. You don't know what it. Just Google it, man.
We agreed that I was right last time.
Yesterday, you were looking at some fucking nachos in a microwave, and you're like, "I think it's typhooning. It's time for a typhoon in this microwave right now." Google it.
You called it a vortex.
I say lots of things. Okay. But on the other side of the spectrum is people who believe in socialism, believe that like you should just get what you need. I think that they fail to see the economics in play.
Yeah.
And they feel like it's the good thing to do. It's the morally right thing to do. Like, there's poor people, there's hungry people, let's give them money and food. Well, it doesn't work that way.
I mean, they just want a fair chance
Well,
at making money.
I believe what's fair is equality of opportunity, which is what I believe we have in America, as opposed to equality of outcome, which is communism. Equality of outcome can only exist with extreme tyranny. And it will never be equal. I mean, even if we have the same amount of money, Arman, what about all the other ways we're unequal? Right? What if I'm wearing glasses and your eyes are terrible? But there's no way to fix my eyes, so what, we blind you? Then we'll be equal, right? I'm taller than you are. Should we cut my legs off?
No one's going to make that decision.
What if my family's happy and your family isn't? What about equality of emotion? Equality of attachment? Equality of relationships? These things will never happen. But people will make attempts. If you... Oh, there we go. We just lost power. Like clockwork. I'm glad I unplugged everything. But we'll never ever have equality of outcome.
No one's gonna... Government is just a governing body. It's not gonna... It doesn't really have jurisdiction of, like, your emotions. They don't really care about your emotions.
But they will try to if you give them that power.
Yeah, then that's
look at North Korea, where when
it's a free world.
Kim Jong-un died, people were put to death if they didn't cry hard enough. You tell me that they don't have control over your emotions?
Well, that's just an extreme example.
It is the extreme example, but you're talking about a slippery slope that leads to extreme examples, like, to extremism.
There is Americans that just sue for emotional...
battery or some shit?
Yeah.
Well, in some cases that might be the case. Right?
But they get heard in a, court of law and
like,
stuff.
if I held you down and raped your belly button, you'd probably have some emotional damage right there.
Yeah, I would sue the shit out of you. Actually, I want to sue the shit. I would beat the shit out of you. Brian, fucking crazy.
Your hairy stomach would chafe my dick terribly.
Jesus, I gotta cut that. I should cut that out.
Nah, that's quality content right there. That's what people want to hear about.
Oh, God.
Belly button sex. No, but the point is that...
The reason why I've been complaining about America ever since, the 10 years you know me is because...
Man, you just said... you complain all the time. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't complain about America at all.
In one of our podcasts, you were making the argument that you would have rather grown up in Armenia during the fucking Bosnian War or whatever it was, the Georgian border war, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's just a simpler time back then. What, just a simpler time? Like fucking knifing people in the dark, Rambo style? Or whatever you guys do over there?
That's true. I forgot they had a war.
Yeah, man, it's simpler time. This is the greatest place to be in the history of the world.
Facts.
And currently right now in the world.
I believe it.
It's better to be a homeless, crazy person in America than it is to be a middle-class person in most places in the world.
Yeah. Fine, we'll go back to that topic. No, I love America. I love my life here. Maybe I was thinking... I don't know why I said that, actually.
Well, we were talking about, socialism and stuff, and people who want equality of outcome.
Well, Georgia's a democracy.
Georgia? Yeah, the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is something that a lot of people mess up. Most countries are not democracies. In fact...
They're republics.
Yes, exactly. They're republics. Because a true democracy is just a tyranny of the majority. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Tyranny of the majority. The majority has the vote on
exactly.
everything.
Majority just wins every decision. So it's like 2 wolves and 1 sheep, and the 3 of them vote on what's for dinner. Right? So...
Which I think is horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Because sheep are adorable and fluffy and delicious.
But they don't
And they should be my food, not wolf food.
Lamb is pretty good.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
I just had some lamb kebab.
Oh, God. You
yesterday.
get like a big leg of lamb and you cook it slow so the meat just falls off. It's got like that thick char on the outside, right?
14 hours smoked.
God damn it. With some fucking gravy and mashed potatoes and stuffing and a couple of dozen beers.
I ate stuffing by itself. Just
Dude, I special ordered stuffing for last Thanksgiving.
really?
So my last Thanksgiving in China, I went balls out. And I actually made a chicken roast. And I had all sorts of vegetables in the roast with it. And I made stuffing that I special ordered online. Got imported. It was the tits.
You had imported stuffing?
Yeah, goddamn it. I had Stofers. Fucking Stofers.
That just sounds ridiculous.
You know what's ridiculous is that Chinese people never use ovens.
Really?
And so, like, all of the accessory stuff that goes with ovens, you just can't find. Oh, power just came back on.
What's America's export?
I don't know.
Cars?
War.
True.
Weapons.
Weapons.
Probably pharmaceutical drugs. Technology.
Food.
Culture.
Yeah. I want to Google that.
What does America export?
Yeah, the main export.
Probably weapons. Or... I'm not sure. Anyway.
I hope it's not
So,
weapons.
since nobody uses ovens there, you go to, like, the store in China, like the big supermarket mall, and you ask them, like, where's the oven section? And you go to the section for the oven stuff, and it's like, it's a fucking joke. Like, you can't find basic stuff, and one of the basic things I couldn't find is a metal baking pan. Just a normal baking pan. Couldn't find one.
Couldn't find one?
Only thing I could find were cookie trays that were an inch deep. So what I had to do is I had to get like 10 cookie trays, put them together, and cut the bottoms out of 9 of them.
Wow.
So that the lip, I was just building up the lip on it.
Yeah.
So it was getting deeper and deeper. And with like 10 of them together, it was deep enough to do the roast I wanted to do, but then it was too wide.
Yeah.
So I had to cut them all in half and move them in like an inch on each other.
Huh.
And then I just wrapped the whole thing in tinfoil so it would hold together.
Wow, you had a MacGyver or something.
Yeah, I had to MacGyver the fuck out of it. Ended up being a great dinner though. Totally, my little oven is a piece of shit. It doesn't get hot enough to really cook this giant dish of roast.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being like fucking 6 hours to cook it at the maximum temperature. It only goes up to 200 degrees Celsius, which is like 425. But it's so small, like you put this giant cold object in it and it instantly cools down. So it took all day to cook.
And you preheated it?
Well, it preheats instantly because it's so tiny.
Oh.
It's just instantly hot. But it's crap. Crap, Arman. That's what you get for buying like a $20 oven. Fucking mosquitoes, man. I always forget the swamp. The American swamp here by DC.
Yeah. I think I got bit twice in this past week. Less frequent than other summers. Why is that relevant?
Just because I'm itching my leg right now. Got 2 mosquito bites right now, right next to each other. I downloaded Third Age last night and got it working before I went to sleep. That is such a good mod, man. You gotta get that.
It's a game, isn't it?
It's a total overhaul mod for the game Medieval War 2. Wait, what?
Rome Total War?
No, Medieval Total War 2. Alright? And then the expansion Kingdoms. You have to have both of those games.
Okay.
And you can get both of them for like $10 on Steam.
Alright.
Yeah, if you get it through a deal, it'll probably be like fucking 1 cent or some crazy bullshit. Crazy Steam bullshit. And then you just download the overhaul mod, which is a couple gigabytes.
Yeah.
It changes the entire game into Lord of the Rings. And it is super legit, man. It's so legit. Last night I did a giant battle between Saurons and Balrogs.
Balrogs are...
The things from Moria. The fire demon.
Yeah.
And they were fighting an army of Saurons.
Sauron is the main guy.
Yeah.
Main evil guy.
Main evil guy.
Wow, who won?
Guess. It was even numbers.
Even numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Not Borgor.
Morgor. That's a good name. I'm gonna write that down. Borgor.
It's a musician.
Okay. Well. Wait. Is that the name he was given at birth? Borgor.
No.
Jesus. Borgor. Come. It's dinner time. Borgor, did you do your homework? Anyway, what were you gonna say? Who do you think won?
I think the fire guys.
You're wrong.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Sauron's won, and they didn't even lose one Sauron. They smashed the Balrogs. Smashed them. Next, I want to try a fight. I'm going to start making these into YouTube videos. Like,
little simulations.
Yeah, little fights. Like, who's going to win?
Yeah,
but the next one I want to try is the Tree Ents against Sauron.
I'm guessing Sauron is like the strongest character.
Well, I would say yes, except this game has Momokill, those giant elephants.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I've never seen anything beat Momokill.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Now, I've never tested it against Balrogs or Saurons because back in the day when I used to play this game years ago, the mod was glitched. And my computer was really, really shitty. And so I think the combination of the glitchy mod and the shitty computer is the reason why the game would crash every single time a Balrog came onto the screen or every single time Sauron came on the screen. You could move them around the map, but then once you go into a battle, it crashes. So that's no bueno.
So you think those rideable elephants are stronger?
Maybe. But, so the reason I think that is because I've only ever seen one thing beat them in the game, which is ballistas. If you use ballistas and you turn them on fire ballista, then that kills Momokill with one shot. And it makes the rest of them go crazy.
Yeah. What are they called? The Fire Lord guy?
Belrog.
Belrog.
But I'm gonna write down Borgor. Where's my phone? Oh, I was just holding it in my hand. Doofus. Borgor.
Yeah, he's a dubstep artist.
Hey, I'm gonna put him in a story, so doesn't matter what he is in real life. I wonder how long the storm's gonna be, or if it's gonna pass over fast. Fast like.
I don't know.
God, the smell from this is fucking bananas.
Alright, we didn't talk about the medicinal marijuana.
Yeah, so what'd you want to ask me about?
Let's keep that for the next podcast.
Okay, fair enough. Well, this has been another one. I don't know what number this is. We'll figure that out later.
This is 10?
10, 11?
Podcast 10.
About 10, give or take.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy it. Check us out in the next one, or go back and listen to some other ones. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them down below. We're very open to any information, any feedback, even if it's negative. If you just like to tell us that we're a couple of dickheads, there's nothing wrong with that. I've been Brian.
And there's Arman.
Bye-bye.
Take care.